These are the first 10 books that I ever gave 5 stars when I got back into reading a year ago. Let's talk about whether or not I would still give them 5 stars today. Not only are Haunting and Hunting Adeline the first 2 books that I gave 5 stars, but they are also the first 2 books that I ever read when I got back into reading. Are these books masterpieces? No, but I don't care. Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter was the second book that I ever rated 5 stars. I read a lot of really dark books when I first got back into reading. And yes, I would still give this book 5 stars today. I still remember everything that happens in this book. I remember exactly how I felt while I was reading it. Local Woman Missing, however, I don't think I would still give 5 stars. I loved how this book was written. I was literally glued to the pages from start to finish. But I found the ending to be really underwhelming, and I gave it 5 stars at the time anyway because I was so sucked in and enjoyed the experience of reading the book so much. But how I rate books today, I'm not giving a thriller 5 stars if I didn't like the ending. 100% I would still give this 5 stars. To this day, one of my favorite books that I have ever read. I absolutely devoured this. It is huge, and I read it in 2 days. I gave the last 3 books in the Natural series all 5 stars, and I definitely still stand by that rating for book 4 and book 2. These 2 I remember distinctly as being 5-star reads, but for book 3, I don't know. I don't remember too much about the book, which I feel like is kind of a sign that maybe I wouldn't give it 5 stars today. I would have to reread the 3rd book to know if I would still give it 5 stars. I just don't remember. Project Hail Mary absolutely stays 5 stars. Another one of my favorite books of all time, definitely my favorite science fiction book that I've read. Hooked by Emily McIntyre, no, I would definitely not give this 5 stars. When I read this, I was such a baby reader. I was so new to dark romance. I really don't even think that this is something that I would read nowadays. When I read the Devil's Night series, I gave Hideaway and Killswitch 5 stars, and I absolutely stand by that rating for Killswitch. This is my favorite dark romance book of all time. Hideaway, though, probably not. I remember giving this book 5 stars, even though I thought that it was kind of boring because I loved the main characters. But again, my standards have changed. Nowadays, good characters are not enough to get a 5-star rating from me. And lastly, my 2 intro to fantasy books. When I first started reading, I read a lot of dark romance and a lot of thrillers. And these were my intro to romantasy, and I stand by my 5-star rating for both of them.